channel, your channel Ray Media Rwanda, performing as the best one in the best in analysis and documentaries. So now you can imagine what brings me here now. I've been thinking about something. I had a question in my mind asking if African unity can be gained through the awareness of history. First of all, I've been thinking that is possible because African unity, as I observed, it is being violated by amnesia of history, or the amnesia of African history. We have forgotten our past. 55 countries of Africa shares the same past, because Africa area was one continent that contained many kingdoms. There was a system of monarchy and kingship there before colonization, but today we are having democratic styles, dictatorship styles, charismatic styles, transformational styles of leadership, but Africa is still having conflicts and disunity. So today I've been asking myself if African unity can be gained through awareness of the background of all African countries, and I'm quite sure that the answer is yes. Because if African countries all rehearse the history of which we share, if we remember that Africa was led in the past, was led by kings in monarchies and kingship, where there were no external domination, and we shared everything across the regions. But the problem today seems different, because today even our neighbors, for example, our neighbors like countries, you can't be friend with that country because they use something different from yours. Cultures are different, yet in the past cultures were shared. But what can be done is to rehearse the past, to remember the past, to teach the past, to be aware of our past and know that the African past was shared. We have forgotten that Mali Empire, Songhai Empire, that Timbuktu region, that kingdoms, like here in Rwanda, also you had Bunyoro kingdoms. There many kingdoms existed and they shared everything without discrimination and disharmony. So maybe it seems that many African countries, after 1885, when Africa was partitioned by the scramble for Africa, every country resembled to its colonized. So African history must be remembered and shared. That is only way to regain the African unity of which Kwame Nkrumah have fought for many years. Because we can't be united unless we are working together through economic integration, through political integration, through even many things. African countries must be working together. So saying that African unity is needed, it is not nonsense, because unless we work together, Africa will be vanished. Other continents are on high speed. Africa is the only continent with many developing countries. But many other countries, many other continents like United States, like Asia, like Europe, they are developed. Why? They have unity. Even if in Europe and America and also in their Middle East there are many wars, but they work together to develop their countries. They facilitate each other. That is what lacks in Africa. It was once said by Kwame Nkrumah in 1963 when it was in May 25th, 1963, when he was launching the African Union, Organization of African Union. When it was being established, it is when he said that we must unite or perish. But today, it is above 60 years after formation of African unity. As its goal was to unite Africa, everyone asks himself, if today we are united, or we have united, or we are uniting, or we are perishing, or we have perished. We are still in a dilemma. But as it is observable, we are not yet united. Some of us may seem to have peace, to have no wars, but the absence of wars does not mean that there is peace, the presence of peace. That must be also known. When there is no wars, it doesn't imply that we have peace. Maybe also we may have peace, but not unity. That is why Africa must sit together. 55 countries are many. Africa have many readers, have many intellectuals, have many readers full of wisdom. They achieved a lot of things, but African unity mostly is needed. In times of crisis like today, we are suffering from having poor petrol. Maybe the problem might be solved through unity. No single country can afford it. Here we need unity. Wars in South Sudan, in DRC, in Eastern Congo might be solved just with regional integration only. That is why we need unity, and it is only key to African liberation. Africa will hardly reach to the liberation from and being free from external domination or neocolonialism when all African countries sit together and promote the African culture and rehearse the past and remember that Africa is for Africans. The comment in the comment section so that we can continue this, because most of you, I know that you have many ideas. So this is Rai Media Rwanda. Many ideas will come from you. Thank you very much.